Hi, I'm Jin Hi Kim, composer and electric Komungo performer. 2 decades ago, at the dawn of a new millennium, I made the 4th century Korean Komungo into the world's only electric Komungo. The new instrument was designed for live interactive performances with the computer programs. I would like to introduce you to my work, Digital Buddha. I noticed that American people are very familiar with the Asian yoga and meditation. I can certainly relate to the practice of meditation with my instrument. For many centuries in Korea, the Komungo was played by male Confucian scholars for their own individual meditation. I have been playing Komungo nearly 50 years. I realized that I could connect people with Komungo meditation in contemporary time. So I decided to create a cosmic meditation on my electric Komungo. I imagined people reaching out to outer space for a deep meditation. You know that outer space is timeless and quiet, as well as violent. In December 2006, media artist Benton C. Bainbridge and I began creating Digital Buddha. In the same year, renowned video art pioneer Nam Jun-baek passed away. So I made a connection with his work entitled Digital Buddha. You will be watching an excerpt from the last section of Digital Buddha, which was performed at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York in 2014. In this performance, I play electric Komungo accompanied by Jerry Hemingway on percussion. Hi, I'm Jin Hi Kim, composer and electric Komungo performer. At the dawn of a new millennium, I made the 4th century Korean Komungo into the world's only electric Komungo. I would like to introduce you to my work entitled Saturn's Rings. I find peace through creating music. I am very fascinated by astronomy and often get inspiration from the celestial space to create my music. I was thinking about the constantly spinning Saturn's moons for my electric Komungo. I interpreted the rings of Saturn as repetitious rhythmic patterns on my electric Komungo, integrating it with digital art projections. I hope you experience the rapid and multiple spinning cycles of time as you watch the video. My electric Komungo works with custom-designed computer programs. I trigger the computer programs with a MIDI foot pedal controller while playing the instrument. I asked Benton C. Bainbridge to video record the electric Komungo and my hands during my live performance. Then he recreated the images into fast-cut swirling digital art. I want to dedicate this piece to frontliners and medical workers for their brave work during the COVID-19 pandemic. To me, they are working tirelessly as the ever-spinning Saturn's rings. Hi, I'm Jin Hi Kim, composer and electric Komungo performer. I would like to introduce you to my composition called Exceeding. I like pushing my limit to exceed the common way that things are done. So I love to exceed expectations. I decide to exceed the limit of the traditional acoustic Komungo. So 2 decades ago, I made the 4th century Korean Komungo into the world's only electric Komungo. For the new electric Komungo, I process Komungo sound in a range of live interactive performing techniques through various computer programs. I work with emerging art technology. At the same time, I am deeply inspired by Buddhism's meditative energy and the shamanistic spirit of vibration. I see the universe is timeless, and I see everything in natural life is formed of organic metaphor. There is order, but also chaos in the life. So I create the sound in the same ways I perceive and understand natural phenomena. I also strive to exceed the reality of our contemporary capitalism and pop culture. I do not create music as a commercial commodity, but to exceed common expectation. I hope my music is interesting to you. Hi, I'm Jin Hi Kim, composer and electric Komungo performer. I want to introduce you to my work, Ghost Komungobot. I know this doesn't sound very familiar to you. If you already know about Korean Komungo, then you might also know about the world's only electric Komungo, which I co-designed. However, you may not know my Komungobot yet. In recent years, Americans have become fascinated by artificial intelligence and robot. Most of us now live with a computer. Soon, many of us will live with a robot at home. The robot will make a coffee and clean the house for you. I want to have my robot improvise music with me. In past years, I have been developing my Komungobot with a really smart guy, Alex Noyes. It took me 2 decades to establish the current electric Komungo, so Alex and I expect that the Komungobot will be another long journey. I will tell you another one of my secrets. In recent years, I have had several shamanistic experiences with the bird. This is very new in my life, and it contrasts my work with the computer and art technology. One day, I realized that all these mystic bird experiences have to do with my nearly 50 years old Komungo practice. I'm not so surprised, because the ancient Komungo is a mystical instrument. In the 4th century, ancient Korea, music master Wang San-ak built a new string instrument. A black crane, also called the bird of the sky, flew to this new instrument, so it subsequently was named the black crane jitter. Later, it was called Komungo, meaning black jitter. I decided that the mystic bird of ancient Komungo to be represented as a ghost, reflecting the virtual Komungobot. So I created a new piece called Ghost Komungobot. It is an interdisciplinary, interactive synthesis of sound, light, and spontaneous projected images. In this piece, I explore my own mystical experiences that I encountered with the birds during my Komungo tours in islands of Indonesia and Native American ancestral lands. I imagined that all mystic birds are expressed through virtual Komungobot. I utilized my true stories as a storyline of Ghost Komungobot. You can listen to the story at the end of the video. I collaborated with Alex Noyes and Benton C. Bainbridge in this piece. Alex and I designed the virtual Komungobot sound, and Benton created the ghost imagery with the video, lasers, and light to manifest the vibration of Komungo strings. This video is an excerpt from 60 minutes performance of Ghost Komungobot, which was co-produced by Culture Hub and Harvest Works and premiered at La Mama Theater in New York City in 2015.
In the 4th century in Koguryo, ancient Korea, Prime Minister Wang San-nak built a new string instrument. When he composed and performed 100 pieces on this new instrument, a black crane, bird of sky,
검은학,
flew to the instrument. So it was named the Black Crane Zither. Later, it was called Komungo, meaning black zither. In 2010, I was in Jakarta, Indonesia, to perform at Salihara Festival. One day, I entered Puppet Museum with 4 tall puppets at the entrance. Their faces projected such an intense light that I could hardly look at them. A little afterwards, I felt weak and almost fainted. A festival staff person accompanying me at that time asked, "Are you possessed by an evil spirit?" I was sitting on the floor for a while until I got better. I then continued upstairs to view the exhibition. At the exit pathway, there was a puppet store. All of a sudden, my eyes are caught by one in a glass case. It was a highly crafted puppet made by a renowned artist. I was attracted by Jatayu, mystical bird in Indonesia and India, which saved Sita Princess when she was kidnapped in epic Ramayana. Jatayu tried to rescue Sita from Ravana. I thought to myself, might it be true that Jatayu saved me from an evil spirit just before? I had to buy the Jatayu puppet, believing that Jatayu would protect me further from any disaster or obstacle. 2 months later, I was invited to International Society for Improvised Music, held at University of Santa Cruz, California. I had a driver who took care of my Komungo early each morning and late night. One day, he took off his hat and told me, "I know who you are. Please, let me introduce myself to you. I am not a humble driver, but I am a Native American Indian chief." He told me, "I have to meet 4 nobles from each direction, and you are the one from the west." He said, "I will bring you eagle feathers."
독수리 날개 깃털.
Next day, he brought 4 feathers that had been handed down from an older chief and used in sacred rituals by past generations. He asked me to touch them. That night, when he picked me up a little after midnight, after a long rehearsal, I heard an owl crying.
부엉이,
Under halo, around shining full moon. 10 days later, I had a car accident on my way home. All of a sudden, on the highway, a car in front of me came to a sudden stop, causing a 2-car collision. I did not have time to stop my car, and I hit the car in front of me. My car was totaled, but I was saved by the airbag. In my mind, I saw Jatayu. "Jatayu, did you just save me?" In Ramayana, Jatayu fought valiantly with Ravana, but as Jatayu was very old, Ravana soon got the better of him. "Thank you for saving me, Jatayu. But are you already dead after 2 months from Jakarta?" 1 week later, I went to buy a new car. I got the key for the car. I see the front window of the new car is covered with bird droppings. I smiled with joy that Jatayu is alive. 2 months later, I went to Indonesia with an Asian Art Council fellowship. I was invited to perform my Komungo at the Toraja Festival. On the first day, the director of festival and I had a breakfast meeting about the program. He asked me to perform in Toraja opera that he had prepared with 60 village people. In the opera, I am a spiritual woman performing with village singers and dancers who for centuries have served their funeral rituals. For me, this was a great honor. That night, I awoke by a sudden force pushing my back upright in the bed. It was 1 a.m., and a bird came to the balcony of my hotel room and made a persistent sound. Gak, 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 gak. I was visited by a black bird, Kadoya, in Toraja, megalithic mountain in West Sulawesi, Indonesia. The bird made very forceful sound 8 times in a row. I was shaken by this. I ran to the bathroom in an attempt to escape from the scene, but I quickly decided to accept this mystical spiritual visit. I came out of my bathroom, asking the spirit not to harm me or kill me. As soon as I sat down on my bed, the bird again was making the same strong and persistent sound 8 times. 1 month later, I went to Joshua Tree, California, as artist in residence at Lou Harrison House. Lou Harrison was my composition teacher at Mills College. Here, rocks are formed by a combination of many geological processes. Some of the boulders in this magical desert are of grand size. Director Eva Soltis took me to 2 majestic boulders that are standing straight to the sky, shaped like a standing eagle. The body is very full with gigantic stomach, but the face is sharply carved with strong eagle beak. Eva said this area was an Indian American habitat, and there is evidence of ritual sites. I had to bring my Komungo to the Eagle Rocks, so a few days later, we went there with my Komungo. I climbed up to the bottom of the huge boulder. I leaned the Komungo against the lower part of the standing eagle body, and I put my hand on it and asked for a blessing. After I sang a few vowels, immediately a young eagle came gliding straight toward me from the south.
독수리.
I stood still and quietly gazed at the eagle wings spread above me. We were humbled, amazed, and speechless as to what had just happened.